I'm Kreck, and I'm going to be co-casting with Humble today.
Hello.
The UFO versus Aztecs game. So
The
both
the
these
wild
teams,
card round.
absolutely. Both these teams, big running teams, the number 4th and 5th rush offenses of the league. And honestly, not much defense from both sides. UFO 7th and last place for pass defense and rush defense, and Aztecs 5th and ninth place for pass and rush defense. So I feel like this is going to be an offensive-sided game for sure.
I mean, it's two really pretty balanced teams. I mean, you could like
Absolutely.
even for the points for and points against, like Aztecs scores more but gives up more. Aliens a little bit more, balanced. They're 7th for both.
But like, let's talk about this. So UFO is dead last for passing defense.
Hmm.
But what helps them out is Aztecs is almost dead last for passing offense. So is that just going to negate itself, or are you going to see a flaw in Aztecs' passing game, or are you going to see a flaw in UFO's passing defense? I feel like this is going to be one of the biggest factors. How are the cornerbacks going to hold up?
Yeah, I think a surprising stat is how effective the aliens offensive passing stats are. I mean, they're 5th in the league for offensive yards from passing.
Luke is known as the madman, the guy who just trusts his receivers, chucks the ball up, and while this is going to be all up to the alien defense, can they take advantage of the madman Luke and his 50s? Can they win some of these 50s? Can they get stops on some of these moonballs that Luke throws deep down the field?
I mean, with these two teams, they on paper they're both rushing teams. I think it's going to come down to the line.
Really? I have to disagree. I think it's going to come down to who throws the least amount of picks. Is Luke going to end tonight, or is Days going to end tonight? That's going to be the real game here.
I don't know. I just got to go with AZ here.
All right, I have to go against you. I got to go with my boys Luke, Chief Queef, and this UFO team. I got a feeling that this is a dark horse that's going to give a lot of teams struggles deeper into the playoffs if they make it on.
One of the things I'm interested to see if it has an effect is Days was in Pugs for a lot during the season, but maybe it's just because I've been absent as well. But haven't been seeing Days and Pugs as much. I wonder if that's gonna come back to take an effect in the game.
It's funny you say that. She was pugging today, almost like a couple of hours, and she was throwing some dots, mind you. But let's see how this all plays out. Luke also in pugs. And UFO is going to be kicking the ball, meaning they've won the toss. And let's see how the special team does. Hopefully no PO performances for the special teams today. Silver Arrow fields the ball.
Kicking it to the lineman, it's always a good strategy.
It is indeed. And he gets 24 as it pays off for UFO. Tried to transfer his field, but the blocks weren't there.
I'd be surprised if we don't see a run first play.
Almost shocking if we don't. That gap between Silver and Grubs. Oh, and the gap was there.
The gap was there. There was a little bit of hesitation. I think Days was looking at a void.
Absolutely. I think that hesitation cost her some yards, maybe 3 or 4. But here goes. Days dropping
Back.
straight back, and Tyrone Nippums just dives at nothing, and Luke picks it off on an in route across the field. Luke just slides in front.
A horrible play for AZ there.
Yeah, the line pressure got straight through, and a bad throw.
Yeah, like I mean, if you're giving the ball up second play of the game after like getting the kickoff, I mean,
Luke, not the move.
Luke has to run here. Oh, nope.
Oh, yes, sir. The 7-yard comeback to Jig, who picks up 8 yards instead. Good start for UFO, getting the pick and steady offense.
Oh, blowing up immediately.
Yep, tries to run between the weak gap on the right side, but Silver Arrow gets straight through, and Juice gets switched off. Interesting. Good chip from Polo. Chiefs post comeback middle.
Chief with the move.
Yeah, no, Chief definitely bailed out Luke there a little. Good adjustment to slide cancel and get that ball.
gained a little bit of extra yards just off the slide jump or the dash jump.
Hmm.
Okay,
And
just reliable yards driving up the middle.
absolutely, just bulldozing his way through the middle. Tyro Nipham's just pushing Grubbs back.
Oh,
And it's a dot, just a pylon throw, but like nowhere near the pylon. But it works as the defender is caught sleeping. UFO take an early lead after giving AZ the ball first.
yeah, that is huge to score there, and then knowing you're getting the ball back at halftime, like for a running team to go down this early is huge. Like
It is
I
big.
don't think it settles the game already, but I think that easily the momentum could get away from AZ here.
Absolutely, but let's not forget, Days has got the legs, and I feel like we're about to see a lot more running, especially after that first aerial throw. Here we go. I can almost guarantee a run on this play. Oh
Ooh, the
boy.
four-man. Oh, Loba getting in.
It's good four-man there. Luke blitzing, I think, near the strong side, and Loba getting to sell inside
Yeah, he
and
just
bringing that
stunted.
pressure.
Yeah, and they blitzed on the outside. They actually sent another blitz on the outside. Just
Oh my
the
god.
body block from
The
Avoid.
body block from Avoid. You don't see an offensive player doing that, but Avoid knew that was a troublesome ball and just went for the body on Chief.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my god. Polo blitzing off the edge and no one there to pick him up. Easy safety for Polo. Just like that. They're down 2 scores already.
I mean, this AZ offense is just not getting off the ground right now.
No, it is not, as Luke just sits there waiting for his blocks to get set up and makes it to the 29-yard line on his kickoff return.
Not the worst return.
Not the best, not the worst, just right. A fake roll.
Oh, Jance.
Jance, he was on that like a hawk. Like, Jance knew that he's waiting for this comeback. This 7-yard comeback, Jance says no more.
Just the free first. Jance
Running
butting
outside.
down. He bit down, tried to get the tackle. He just missed.
That's going to be dangerous for Jance, so you can't bite down like this. QBs will take note of this, and they will...
Oh, the face pick from Silver Arrow!
He was throwing a comeback to Jig, post corner comeback, but Silver Arrow just right there, perfect spot.
That is huge for AZ.
All the momentum stopped for UFO dead in its tracks.
I mean, not only, face pick, you're in their territory. Like, AZ is in UFO territory, but oh my god.
Polo! Jance sold! Jance, that was a dot from Days. Jance just had to trust the throw and jump, but Jance ran forward and Polo ran backwards. Luke rolling out to his left.
Oh my god. What is going on?
And a sell from Polo that time, not attacking the ball, and Jance just dives right in front of him. Terrible throw from Luke, too. Let's not get that, but Polo could have attacked that ball. And here we go. Smarter, safer plays. If you keep it on the ground, you can't
staying
fumble.
on the ground. The 19-yard run.
Really good run, just pump faking and then running straight up the weak side gap for 19 yards. And UFO calls 4-3 instead of 3-4.
Sending the blitz on the outside, but it doesn't matter. They just set the edge.
But Jig gets through. Where did he come from? I don't know, but great job by Jig. That was a touchdown for sure if he didn't get through.
It's interesting they're calling the 4-3 here because the
Yeah.
outside runs are just open. It's really hard to call 4-3 if you don't believe that like you're gonna get in every single time.
Absolutely no.
Ooh.
That 4-3 was, I don't think, the best decision, especially when they're not playing the outside for these linemen. Making it really hard to, first of all, hold the contain and secondly get pressure. I don't think 4-3 was the right move there.
Yeah, I do think 4-3 has a place, but I just don't think that was the right time to call it.
Let's see what UFO does here, though, in retaliation. Still up by 2. And remember, they didn't start with the ball.
I mean, I really don't think either of these teams has much momentum right now, even if AZ scored.
Dog selling.
Oh, Void almost getting that pick.
Void tried to dive in front, but Chiefs just trusted the throw, let it sit in his lap, and yaks it up for an extra 10 yards.
The fake run.
The fake run, and he got
oh,
Grubbs to drop into coverage.
I mean, that's what a Void does, though. He drops off onto that deep route, but it just left the comeback wide open for a free 15 yards.
Absolutely. Days showing the blitz, but backing off. And a quick out route to Jig, but overthrown by Luke. Jance is right there, though. If you look at Jance's defense, he is playing as tight as can be.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm a lineman, of course, but when they're running those short comebacks, they're not even trying to run upfield. You'd think you just, just
Yeah,
play
as we
tight,
see.
just play tight, and then hope for a bad ball.
Absolutely. As
Oh,
Luke looks for another
Dogs
run.
got in.
Luke just dives and prays he gets some yards.
Dogs
And
actually
3
got in
yards.
there.
Absolutely. Dogs has been working this line already. He's been bringing in the pressure. And here comes a blitz from Days. But this looks like a dot to
A
Jig.
dot
And
to
it
Jig.
is.
I think Jig has been like a premier receiver for UFO this season. I think he's come up a lot, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Chief Queef, though, taking the league by storm, only playing about 10 games, but I think he's in the top 5 rec yards category.
Off of stats, Chief has had an absolutely insane season.
Absolutely. As UFO takes another 9-point lead with the successful field goal. And Luke kicks it straight down the middle.
Krim stealing it from Days.
And this looks like a really good return. 40-yard return to the 47.
It's a great return. I mean, you really can't, hope for much more than over 30 yards.
Absolutely. As Days double slides back, pump fakes.
Oh, trying to make a move.
She was trying to step up, but Tyrone, being the smarter lineman, just went side to side, waiting for her to get impatient.
I think Grubbs just lost Days. He had moved to the left. Oh my God, Luke lurking. Luke was just lurking the middle of the field.
Absolutely, he was waiting for ins or anything in that middle, and he saw it, and he slid, and there's a pick. That's pick number 3 from Days. And they're in 5-2.
It's an interesting call here.
Luke has all the time in the world. You can do whatever you want here, and he chooses to run for.
I mean, when you call 5-2 and they leak alignment, there's a lot of confusion on who's going to pick that up.
Absolutely, just pure panic at the other team's end. Days was spotting that. Oh my God, Jance!
Days and Jance jumping that route.
Absolutely, this is just a game of errors from both teams.
Oh my God.
Days with a step back.
The missed dive from Luke.
7-yard run from the weak side. This is what we expected from Days, though.
Now, the question is for either of these teams, like you've thrown a lot. Oh my God, Jance is burning.
Jance is wide open. Jig bit on the run, and there goes Jance.
That was a great play. I honestly think that was a run, and then Days just audibled, and Jance just kept going.
That was Days' first pass completion of this game. Maybe that'll get her started, as there's just great pressure.
Just tossing it out. I mean, when your play is blown up that quick, your line is beat immediately on a 4-man. You got to toss it out. You can't take a deep sack.
Absolutely. Smart throwaway by Days, but will this spark her passing game? 1 for 6 so far, but she backs up.
I mean, 5 yards.
5 yards is 5 yards. I think she ran for almost 30 just side to side before she got that 5 yards. Here we go. Rolling this time, but the pressure's in again, and oh!
Ooh, 4th and 1.
Abs-
Dangerous territory for either of these teams, I think.
Yeah, like, are you gonna play the run? Are you? Oh, here comes that 4-3 again. But Luke's actually playing the outside this time. They're showing a 5-man front,
It
but
doesn't.
oh,
I mean,
they
I
showed
think
a 5-man front.
it seems like there's some misunderstanding on playing the 4-3.
Yeah, I don't think they fully understand what they're doing
I
on
mean,
4-3.
Luke could have had that outside, but he's basically standing where the tackle is. Like the tackle just blocked both of them pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean that was
Fake.
wide open, but
It
just a little
was.
too high.
The fake run to a quick out, but Days overthrows it.
Taking UFO's routes.
And here comes the
Oh,
run.
the AZ touchdown.
Days making really great moves in her own backfield to get that touchdown. Really worked for it.
Going for 1, putting them down 2, assuming they get this.
Mm-hmm. And a 2-point game again.
I mean,
I
it's
feel like
not the worst place to be.
no, it is not. I feel
mean,
like
you
both
got
teams
yeah.
are like really just saying, I don't want to blow this game out, so let me throw you a pick right back. They're trying to keep it more interesting than the DK versus Blizzard game. Absolutely.
I mean, you got 2 minutes 40 seconds left in the second. You know UFO is getting the ball. If you can get a stop or at least make them waste time.
Absolutely. And Luke just wide open
Just
gap
a
up the
free
weak side.
run.
The freest 12 yards you'll probably get in football. Days really showing the blitz now. Grubb gets straight in and dives.
Tossing it up.
And
Oh,
there is Jig again on
big
Jance.
pass to Jig.
This is the Jig and Jance game so far. I'd expect a run here on the weak side. Let's see what Luke does. Fakes the run. Quick out.
Oh, avoid.
Wow.
Trying his best to get there and stop that. I mean, if that was a worse throw, that was a great play, but unfortunately.
Luke actually dots it up, and they're going for 2. And they're not going for 2. I was really confused by that. Oh. Juice is here with us. I thought he was gone. As he taunts the other team while his PC definitely lags out. Again, a 2-score game still, but only a 9-point differential.
I
Can
mean,
AZ go down and score?
they have a ton of time.
Absolutely. But the better question is, can either of these teams capitalize off the other team's turnover? Like, this is the biggest storyline of this game. Can they capitalize?
I think so far UFO has been. I mean, there's obviously those couple of plays.
The only play UFO has capitalized on is that safety, and then they threw a pick right back on that safety, which is why they have this lead.
I mean, the safety's coming in clutch right now.
It
Keeping
really
them
is.
keeping them 2 scores ahead.
Oh, Luke is spying, but Dace just makes a better throw right over his head.
I mean, Luke
Both
is
QBs.
really just lurking this middle of this field. You think you would try your best to target some other area?
I mean, that's what both QBs are doing. They are faking the blitz.
Oh, tossing it up.
Chief
Outside leverage. The
just
body
pushes
block
him out.
pushes him
And
out of bounds.
That was
said,
such a
"Not
good
today."
defensive play. Such a good defensive play by Chief, just pushing him out of the way. But there it is.
Oh,
Days'
big
legs.
run from Days.
This is.
Is this a touchdown? No.
No, it is not.
Loba says no. No, it's
No,
not.
sir, not today. But they're in UFO territory. Now this is all on Days. What's she gonna do? She just chucks it up to avoid. That's Chief
Oh, Chief coming
with the
down with the
pick.
ball.
I thought she threw that out of bounds. That was such a good pick by Chief. He
I
didn't even think it
do
was
do you
pickable.
think he lands out of bounds if he's not tackled by a void there?
Absolutely. And Luke just running it up the middle for 8 more yards, getting
I
them
mean,
a little bit out of safety territory.
that's a standard Luke play right there. Keeping it on the ground, running up the middle.
Absolutely. And oh, Luke almost got safety there trying to pass the ball when you can just run it up the middle.
I was going to say earlier, like throwing these picks. Do you think these QBs are trusting their arm? But I mean, there's been plenty of passing since that exchange earlier in the game.
And UFO or AZ actually managed to pull off the 4-3, stopping Silver just dives. Start of the play. There's Chief,
Oh,
and
Chief.
there's a dot right to Chief. When in doubt, Chief queef it out. Am I right?
I mean,
That's what Luke taught me.
you can see the confidence of a good season.
Absolutely.
Like Luke just tossing it up to Luke, or Luke just tossing it up to Chief. Sorry, on a good route, and trusting he's gonna come down with it.
And that was good leverage too. Threw it inside, so Avoid had little to no chance at getting that. And he tosses another one up.
Oh, Crims
But
coming down with
Polo
it.
sells that. That was a really good throw by Luke, just giving his receiver leverage, but Polo unable to spot bot that.
And
Unfortunate.
a more high-powered offense. I mean, 30 seconds is plenty of time. But I don't know if AZ is going to be able to capitalize on this.
Absolutely. Especially not with running it down the first play. Days has all the time.
Oh
Oh, she
no,
throws it inside leverage. And Jig misses the pick. I think that was very pickable.
I think so too. It, you think you could just hot route a comeback with how he was playing that.
Yeah, he was just asking over top, and they try to go for the steal, but 2 people there, and she throws it out of bounds. All right, now all you got to do for UFO is not let them get in 50 range or get the stop here and score a touchdown of your own. Either
Yeah,
or will do just fine.
you have to at the very least just get the first here, run the clock out.
Throw a pick. Do not throw a pick.
Do not give them a chance to put up more points.
I don't know if you saw that, but that ball was thrown straight at Luke. Luke sidesteps out of the way.
I mean, if I'm AZ here, I'm telling everyone to just back up, let them run the clock out.
Absolutely. And oh my God, you got to come down with that.
I mean, it doesn't matter. They are far and away in 50 territory.
Just makes it easier for Luke to work with that 4-man blitz there. Can he step up?
Oh,
No, he can't.
huge stop for AZ.
Those 3 yards make that difference where Luke can just chuck a 15 yards back to where he has to step up like 5 yards. And
I mean, yeah.
Let's look at these stats. How many picks have been thrown so far? 9 picks from both teams. UFO getting 5 turnovers from Days, and AZ getting 4 turnovers from Luke. So absolutely not a throwing game.
Yeah,
Days
I mean,
3 for 14.
It's looking real tough here for AZ. I mean, it just looks like they cannot get anything going on offense. I mean, Days is 3 for 14.
Absolutely, and this is where it comes into play. The lowest passing defense versus the lowest passing offense. And right now, the lowest passing defense is winning by a far.
I mean, considering Days is 3 for 14, there's been a lot of mistakes so far. Only being down 9 points, it could be way worse.
Except they don't get the ball back, so this is where UFO really needs to put the foot on the pedal.
Definitely not ideal for AZ, but I don't feel like this is insurmountable. I feel like they could still come out on top.
Absolutely, as Luke gets the ball at the 29-yard line and rolls to his right. And the 7-yard comeback to Chief Queef.
Oh,
My favorite route.
I don't know if you noticed, they actually switched Jance on the Chief.
Ooh. This is interesting. I would say Avoid would be the better player against Chief, especially Avoid being a high caliber defensive player, but let's see how this goes.
It's Luke running. He has the lead, taking the free 11 yards each
It's a
time.
wide open gap up that weak side between Silver and Dogs, and they go to 4-3 trying to combat it. Ooh,
Oh, and it works. I mean,
absolutely.
it looks like AZ practiced the position more.
And they're back to 5 or 2-5. Let's see what Luke does here. And
Days.
just standing there, not letting Luke to go up that middle over and over and over again. This is where you see Luke's trust in his receivers come out, though, these third and deep situations. But he's just backed up 40, 50 yards.
Tossing it out. And 4th and 16 is a huge yardage. If the other team's getting heavy pressure, it's going to be hard to throw up that 50 unless you pre-throw it.
Obviously, the person to watch here is Chief Queef and Jance. What's this going to look like, though? Is it just going to be a streak? It might just be a streak. Oh! He throws an
Oh, to Polo. Polo, who'd been silent the whole game,
first
coming
catch
up
for
with
Polo.
a huge. I mean, if by first catches, a huge first down for your team, you could do worse.
Absolutely. And there's that 4-3 coming out again, and it's working really well against this line. Just pressure straight up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, you have, in this 4-3, you have your tackles go in, they just clog up the middle completely, and then you obviously you have your nose and then your free safety. They just cover the outside contain so they don't run on the outside.
Absolutely. And Luke throwing an incompletion to Jig, trying to do a quick out route, but missing Jig by a little.
Oh, Jig.
Whoa, that was.
I feel like he was burning on the post.
He was.
I feel like you throw that to the green or the D in gridiron, and that's a touchdown.
That is, yep. Let's see what Luke does here. 4th and 7. There it is. Just the straight 50.
Thrown. And Jance comes down with it. What a catch.
That was. Oh, I'm at a loss of words. I don't know what I just watched. Chief Queef sold that really hard.
That was an amazing catch from Jance. I mean, Chief definitely sold there, but that's huge play.
Absolutely, and I'm just shocked. Like, neither team wants to give the other team struggle. They're like, all right, it's your turn now. But here comes the UFO line. Just no one picking up Loba, going straight inside for another sack. 14 yards.
Miscommunication on the AZ line. Dogs is looking like he's blocking for a roll, and Ace is looking to sit in the pocket.
Here we go. Just a chucked up ball.
Oh,
Jig!
Locking Jance down.
Jance dove backwards while Jig just jumped, and Jig was in front of Jance. I'm not sure if that was just a sell. What just happened there?
Maybe he thought it was over, so he dove, but turned out to be a dot.
Yeah. And there's another comeback from Chief. And again, the pressure in 4-3 is just getting to Luke, which is why these quick throws are coming out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting this pressure, I feel like you can. I mean, you're down 2 scores. I feel like you got to kind of bite down if your Lions getting this amount of pressure. You're throwing comebacks on both sides.
Exactly. And Luke just running up for a free 10 yards just when I was talking about pressure.
Doing the pump fake into the run.
For 3 yards. They're targeting that left side.
I think that was possibly the worst screen fake I've seen.
Yep. Oh,
Luke staying on his feet. 3rd and 3. I mean, it's not the worst.
I don't know how he didn't get tackled immediately. He just ran against his own lineman, just staying alive.
Sometimes you just need the big body to protect you.
That gap of the middle looks wide open to me. Clearly, I'm not seeing something.
Oh, Dogs with the huge sack.
That's actually insane. 4th and 18 now from a 3rd and 3. Dogs just getting in off the weak side too. Is 4-3 the meta?
It is strong against. It
And
is good for getting pressure. And Krim's
Crims!
coming down with it once again. His
Just another
second pick
pick.
of the game.
So that's 6 picks for Luke now. 6 for Days. And Days just fighting around in the
Just
pocket, but
Krim's wide open in the flat.
they bit down on the run. Luckily, Crims wasn't deep to burn them real bad. Days just running around the pocket, finds the lane to run, and there
Oh,
goes Days.
the 24-yard run.
Yeah, she's just dancing around her nose, just waiting for Tyrone to commit and go in the opposite gap. This is smart playing from Days now.
I mean, these teams have been relatively balanced on the ground, but it's just this passing is killing AZ. They just cannot get anything going deep.
And Loba shuts down that run instantly, going inside of Dogs. But here goes Days for another 9, says, you can't stop us both times. And here comes the 4-3 from UFO, but can they do it right?
Oh,
They
and they
can!
pull it off.
They learned. They
I
learned
mean,
from watching AZ and said, we'll just do what they did.
low key, Days could have just ran up the middle, but
She definitely could have, but it's okay.
avoid burning deep.
Avoid is burning. What is going on?
Oh my god.
Chief and Polo just both confused on what each of them were
I think that
guarding.
was just a bad swap there. Chief was trying to cover the comeback, expecting Polo to take his over top, and then it just didn't happen. Oh, they get the field goal block.
Juice!
Juice with the field goal block.
And now it's a 3-point game.
That's actually huge.
Yeah. Let's see what UFO can do on the return. Luke trying to moss Tyrone, but
you go from in the worst case scenario, AZ driving down in the fourth quarter, kicking a field goal. I mean, you go to overtime, you don't lose anymore.
And Luke trying to run again, but 4-3 is just shutting them down. I feel like if Luke could just see that Tyrone could be wide open up the middle, this would be huge. But he just keeps persisting on the run and gets 13 yards.
The issue is it's not open in the middle because both tackles just go into the middle.
I'm talking about a Tyrone streak. I want to see the big man
Tyrone
catch.
streak. Krim stopping the run attempt.
These guys are doing great on 4-3. I think they've found the bread and butter, but I really want to see that Tyrone streak. So much pressure instantly, but Luke, quick throw to a quick out route to Jig.
I mean,
great pickup of 14.
These AZ, coverage they're biting these routes, but I mean it's a combination of good throw and slightly position, and it's just not working.
As Luke gets a 1-yard run, Silver Arrow busting this run up. Luke's eventually got to figure out that Tyrone's gonna be wide, right?
I don't know. I think of the lineman with him.
Oh, what?
Oh, Cribs!
I think this is just a game full of sellers today.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. That was a void. Pretty much a 50 to avoid.
Luke said, "You guys can have the ball straight back," but what?
I mean, a run attempt, he loses a yard.
He loses 3 almost. He looked like a lost chicken with no head. Luke just keeps taking that step up.
Jance on this comeback.
Jance is there.
Jance was actually, he was kind of burnt on the initial slant, but
the comeback.
Yeah, he threw the comeback.
Right where Jance was. Oh.
Ooh, that
They
was
tried to throw a
close.
split to Jig, but Luke overthrowing it. What do they do here? And they go for a touchdown.
4th and
Smart
goal.
play.
I mean, I
Do
feel
they
like
just
you
50
cannot.
again?
Yeah, I mean, you have to throw here. You cannot run after your run's been blowing up so much, and they just throw the
Polo!
sandwich. They throw the sandwich.
That was a really bad throw. Polo had to stop almost immediately, and Polo comes up big time with that catch. I thought that was getting picked off for sure.
I mean, it is a slow death for AZ here. I mean, they have literally been dying by 2 and 1 point all game.
Days has got to pass. There's nothing else to it. Days has to pass.
I mean, I agree, but when you're throwing 5 for 17,
Maybe they just get a kickoff touchdown. Nope, that's out of the books. 23-yard return from Crims. They're on their left hash. Please, Days, can you turn on that offensive firepower? As she chooses to run for 1 yard. That burned about 10 seconds off the clock. She doesn't have this time anymore. This luxury is gone.
sure. I mean, as soon as you give this ball back to AZ, they're running clock. They want to get to the playoffs.
Oh,
And
he is
a
open
deep
though.
ball. Polo with the
Polo!
late slide for the body block.
I was waiting for Jance's third slide, but
Honestly,
Jance didn't have it.
I thought for sure that was about to be a pick with that late slide.
The out open
Crim.
and Crims coming down with it for 10 yards and so much more.
And
Oh
more.
boy.
Avoid
We
with
got-
the block.
Oh, these are really good blocks.
Oh
No!
my god. He got all the way. The 65-yarder.
The 65-yard out route. That's the deepest throw for Days today, and it was only 7 yards. Do they just run?
And
they
AZ
do.
scores quick.
I'd go for
Swift
2 here.
strike.
I would go for 2 here. That's me. That's my game plan. I would rather take the field goal to win the game than tie the game. But no,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when you're in AZ's position here, like you're stressed, right? Like there's a lot of
absolutely.
pressure here. Doing the correct math and taking in all the variables. I think most teams are gonna take the one.
Not my team. No, sir. I would yell at Shaq to take that too. As Tyrone returns a 21-yard return to UFO's 29. Luke,
I mean,
let's see if you can run.
this isn't the worst scenario for AZ, right? Like you know Luke is gonna want to run, throw a lot of short
You just play
to
under.
run the clock. You got to play tight. Hopefully, I mean, you've had plenty of picks this game.
Absolutely. This could have gone either way. As Luke just runs up the middle again, 4 more yards as the clock continues to tick. They got a 1-minute warning, so no timeouts just yet.
You can see Dogs. He jumped a little too far. He left his gap, and Luke just ran up for the free first.
They were doing so well with this 4-3, but
Days
and
coming
there it
through.
is.
I mean, this is what you need to stop the run. You need a sack.
Absolutely.
I mean, now UFO has to consider, like, do I want to run on 2nd and 14, a chance to blow it up, and then it's 3rd and 15
If
or
they can
worse.
get another quick sack, the 1-minute warning is going to save them so much time. But
Oh,
it's a quick out for 11 yards. But the 1-minute warning still hasn't gone.
I believe they called a timeout.
That's smart. Oh, no. No 1-minute warning either. They're just going to let the clock tick down.
This is a rough position. If they get a first down here, that's game.
Absolutely, yep. Here goes Luke.
Oh,
Wow,
the
Dogs
big
is there.
sack from Dogs.
Day is not calling the timeout. Clock's still running. Oh. Come on, 31 seconds. I assume they have 2 timeouts left. Just gotta get these stops. Oh,
Oh,
they're
Silver
silver.
Arrow with the
28
sack.
seconds. 3rd and 15. Play
Get
under.
get a timeout here.
You have to play under. Chief running an in across the field.
He's just
Wide
wide open,
and
and that's
that is
game.
game.
The first
That
down,
should
they're
be
gonna
game.
run the clock out, and it's over.
Yep. That was just a game of turnovers, to say the least.
Yeah,
Both
I
teams could have
mean,
capitalized so heavily, but they said, I'm just going to give it right back to you. And that's how this game's going to end. Do you think Luke goes end zone here for another pick / touchdown?
I
think they
mean,
do.
why not, right?
And here it goes. They give it up to Chief, and it's out of bounds.
I mean, there were like the amount of turnovers in that game. It easily could have been either team if AZ had gotten anything going in the passing game. I mean, there was 19 sacks, I believe, total, and not including the 6, 8, 9, 12 picks. Like
Oh,
that's
boy.
something like 15 turnovers this game overall.
Yeah. That's just, you can't be doing that. That's just, you can't win games like that. And honestly, UFO scraping out this win here is kind of just insane, especially considering that the defensive wise, AZ had almost double the sacks and the same amount of picks. So unfortunately, they just couldn't get that passing game going.
I mean, they also just couldn't stop the conversions. I mean, you can get as many sacks as you want, but if it comes down to 4th and 1 or 4th and 26, and they get that first, those sacks don't matter.
Can we talk about Jance's defense though? He was on those out routes, those comebacks, and he was even on the deep balls, getting 3 picks. Jance definitely played out of his mind for
Yeah,
AZ.
that was a great game from Jance, and maybe we cursed it, but avoid ending the game, no interceptions.
Yeah, we definitely did curse it. I thought he was gonna have 3. I thought Avoid was the one that was gonna have 3, but dang, what a game. Just a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes, and neither team chose to capitalize off those mistakes. That's one of the big differences between those top 4, top 5 teams that capitalize and teams that don't. You just have to capitalize. I think that's it from us. I'd like to thank all of you for watching this game with us. There should be another game tomorrow. I'm pretty sure DK is playing tomorrow. And Humble, do you have anything to say?
Just thanks for coming out.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you later.